Hi everyone, I'm Manny, and I'm going to introduce you to our spotlight artist.
My name's Nate McMullen. I kind of grew up halfway in Huntington Beach and halfway in Chino, actually. How I got my ties with Pomona was when I moved from Huntington Beach to Chino. My dad wanted to be closer. My parents were separated. So he moved to Pomona. This is in the early 80s. Hung out in Pomona a lot as a kid. You know, I remember the art walk just being amazing. It's the reason I started this whole thing. You know, I remember, 15,000 people would show up for art walk. It's crazy.
What is your artistry?
My artistry, I started off as a kid doing pastels, worked with acrylic for many years, and then got into oil probably at this point 8 years ago. Been painting for 15, 16 years now. But about 2 years ago, I can't remember anymore, roughly 2 years ago, I got into sculpture, metal sculpture. And it kind of brought me back to my roots. My dad was a machinist. I grew up in a machine shop. And man, just fell in love with it. I love the permanence of it. Man, I love it. So I would say my main medium now, my main artistry is metal sculpture.
Is that one of your metal sculptures?
Yeah, this is a piece right here. I take a solid steel block, weld the pieces together. Sometimes they're leftover pieces because I'm a mechanical engineer, so we get broken machines and big chunks of stainless steel that come off, and I'll reuse those when I can. I weld the pieces together and then I carve them, basically using grinders, die grinders, down to Dremels, down to hand file at the last minute, But it's a long process. It's very hard. It's very hot. It's very dangerous. But they do really well. I love the look of them, and yeah, I'll probably do that till the day I die.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
How have the arts impacted you?
Wow. That's a whole series on its own, right? Well, art runs on my mom's side for many generations, many generations. You can see some of my families, you can't see in the camera, but my aunt painted that painting on the top of the blacksmith. I have a picture back here of my great aunt who was a sculptress, and she wrote books too. My grandma painted, my great grandma painted, my grandma painted, my mom painted. My brother was a really good illustrator, just never got into it. But what really impacted me, I think that just kind of gave me the love of art, but my grandma would take me to art museums as a kid, and also my dad. And that's when I remember being down in I think it was in the basement of the LA History Museum, actually. And they had a huge Alfonso Mucha poster. And I just loved the layout, the femininity of it, just everything about it. I just felt, I was 9 years old. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And just always loved art. The way it's impacted me now, several different ways. One, it's been a great outlet for me. It's given me a sense of community with my gallery here, running Artists in the Alley. And I get to see everyone's art. Every month I get to decorate my home with all these artists that are around here, and it's just so amazing. And then everyone getting together, and the music's playing, there's art everywhere, and you're just saturated in the love of art. And man, that's been such a plus in my life that I can truly say I feel very fulfilled.
Can you explain why you chose your legendary artist?
My legendary artist, I had to think about this for a little bit, but then it just popped in my head, was Vladimir Kush. I first saw him on the streets of Santa Monica, selling his art on the street. He was painting, but it's not like a street artist with spray paint. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, this guy just has such a great way with light. He went, come to find out later, I talked to him briefly then, but he went to the Russian School of Light, which is probably one of the best schools you can go to as far as learning lighting and painting. And since then, he's become very famous. I wish I would have purchased one of his paintings back then. I ended up purchasing one later, and it cost me a lot more money. But the way he's influenced me, you can see it in my paintings. And I didn't realize it until later. His lighting, how he lights his canvas. When you put one of his pieces on a wall and you dim the light, it's almost like the canvas stays lit. You can almost see it, kind of what I do here with special lighting. If I were to dim this, this light source would almost stay, and it looks like it does. Also, he's probably influenced me in this way as well, as he elongates his limbs on his people in his paintings. He sculpts now too. He's been sculpting for a while, and they're elongated limbs and torsos. I elongate mine different than he does, but I could say definitely that probably influenced my sculpting even,
What advice would you give to a young artist?
Oh man, that's not an easy one to answer. Not because I don't know the answer. I know the answer, but it's a hard truth. I would say you have to live and breathe art. You just have to do it. And that's where that love of art comes from. Because if you love art and you feel the need to do it, even when you're not motivated, soon within 10-15 minutes of starting on your piece, man, you're in it, you're loving it, and some of your best work comes out that way. The more art, the better in the world, I would say.